looking at yesterday. It is in my head only anyway. Looking at tomorrow, and I realize it's only in my head, and it's melting like ice. The here and now, that's where it's at. Is love, it is peace, and everything you got. Here and now, it's bliss. Here and now, that's where it is. So I sit here and pray, Mother of the universe, wake me up today. Mother of the universe, wake us up. Well, here we have some music, words, communication. And the transfer of what? I sat down this morning with the idea to say something meaningful. You know what, let's take that effect out a little bit. That gives the room some room. I'm not sure if there's really something meaningful to say. That's my Martin guitar. Great manufacturer of guitars. I used to go out for many years in the night, playing in various situations, jazz clubs, nightclubs, house concerts, churches, ashrams. And what difference did I make? I don't know. I don't know. I am wishing I could make a difference in sharing something that I have learned in my years of being here in Earth School, as some call it so correctly. Life is not here to make you happy, it is here to make you more conscious. I say yes to that. My wife is sharing lately with me the book she's reading, a biography of Will Smith. It looks like he wrote it, or his writer wrote it for him. I would think that's how it went. But our time's most successful actor, Will Smith, and he describes his life a little bit, how the road of winning and success has not brought him some what he also would like to have, love, peace, happiness. Some call it happiness and unhappiness is really the same thing when you look into it closer. But I like to go to peace, because it's deeper. Happiness, unhappiness, and underlying is peace. It's a deeper state. But there's not much for him there to find, and he discovers in his life the act of egotistic self-centeredness that brought him to the top. There is also a tremendous amount of intelligence and very very much grace in his worldly success. It leads me to the thought of outer riches, inner poorness. He discovers the inner poorness and wants to find it a little bit, or maybe a lot. Outer riches is more common actually than inner riches. Both is possible independently from each other. You can have inner riches and outer poorness, and you can have outer riches and inner poorness. It's more common that way. So I'm learning that he's at a point where some show us these worldly masters, that there is no happiness. Robin Williams showed us very clearly. Whitney Houston showed us very clearly. Houses probably all over the world and no happiness. The host, drives you to suicide. Your host meaning your egoic mind. And I'm not free of the egoic mind just because I'm talking about, but I know where freedom lies. Can I just go there? It varies. See, knowing is not it. It's not enough. One must apply. And the one that knows, it's a tricky beast, because it's almost as if the arsonist pretends to, or the chief of police is the arsonist and pretends to, he's never gonna catch that little bugger, because he is the little bugger. And transcending, going beyond is necessary, but you cannot liberate yourself. You can cultivate the field that you are walking on, no doubt. But that act of grace is, Ramakrishna said it so wonderful to my understanding. You can have a beautiful boat and you put up the sail, but the wind that brings you to the other side, you cannot have or do its grace. And that what blows into your sails to brings you to the other shore, that is grace. And boy, oh boy, is that sometimes a fierce storm, that wind, when it comes, the freeing is not always gentle. It can always, it can be very surprising how it looks like. I had a freeing moment in my life, and I remember this very clear, to ask for some sweetness in my life. I by no means I had that success Will Smith had. I mean, not even close. Just moderate, even for just regular, compared to a regular plumber. But, well, I don't know. I had a house on 40 acres in Nevada and another one in a city. And I remember praying from all the depths of my heart to, please send me some sweetness. I was standing there and I could just not have sweetness. I couldn't even have sweetness in this beautiful setting. And my prayer got heard. And in order for me to have sweetness, it must have been necessary to lose everything first. And boom, everything went. Wife, family, house, car, other house, everything, credit cards. And there I was. And at one point, I saw some form of light. I discovered I'm not my house, I'm not my ring, I'm not my clothes, I'm not any of these things. Not my wife, not my son, not my marriage, not even this body. I was free and still here. That was the beginning for me of the end of the egoic asleepness. And I started waking up. I miraculously found Eckhart Tolle, that Power of Now book that I started reading, and I was just unbelievably floored, touched by it, that I couldn't put that thing down for, I don't know, really for years, if you want to be precise, because I read this again and again and again and again and again, and every time I read it and read more and more, it somehow has a new dimension of a new layer. It was almost like a new book every time I read it, and I started to really understand, often on an experiential level, what I took in through my senses, my sense of seeing and words I was reading, of course. Then I listened to talks, and I even went to San Francisco to listen to him live, and what a experience. The and, what he says, yes, but it was in between, in that silence that traveled with him, through him. I don't know the right word for that, but anyway, it's very interesting in a contrast to Will Smith's book, where he ain't finding, but he's looking, and that's a start. After a while, of course, many years, perhaps, maybe just a day, I do not know. It is important that you stop looking, because it's a journey without distance. You already have what you're looking for. You're knocking on doors to find out you're already inside. And then you sit here in front of a camera like I do, and wish eventually for outer riches. Not that I'm poor in this world. I have everything I need, and but the wish for more is easily there. By comparison, we can only be, by comparison, unsatisfied, and sometimes that still comes. But I want to share this experience, as I think it is meaningful and helpful. Humanity, I would love for humanity to wake up fast enough that the planet ain't need to eradicate them all. I love humans and humanity almost as much as I love, well, that's a comparison. I'd love animals and I love humans, just another animal. I wish to share the flowering of consciousness that has gotten a hold of me 25 years ago. And I like to share this possibility. We humans are not growing 4 arms and another head. The evolution of humanity, what I can see is inside. We humans look all the same, but yet there is some that are waking up from the dream of form, and see the fallacy to look for peace and happiness there. It's looking for love in all the wrong places. You could say the peace is right here, right now. Actually, it's closer than your hand. I think this is Jesus' words. Your hand is pretty close, but what's closer, it is your innermost essence, is love and peace. And the experience, the experiential knowledge is what is the bliss. Words in itself are sounds, and it's very limiting. You have a grand experience, and even the most eloquent try to describe it. It's a limiting. Words cannot be the experience, and you limit the experience with words, but yet it's a form of yoga to to find to find it through words. You can find it through prayer, through meditation, through hard work, through hard exercise. You can find it in any way. It's the beginning and the end. But I feel myself drawn in front of this little camera to say something that is of value other than, a product review. And in another way, it almost could be compared to that too. So I hope you find some love and peace that is inside you, and it's not yours. It is love and peace. It doesn't belong to anybody. And I wish you the outer riches too. Why not? But often they delude you to the point that you become so very, very blind. Often the way of the cross is needed, some form of crucifixion for most of us to open the eyes. Who knows how this is in the future? Anyway, please, I don't say any of this to shine a light on me, to be special or different, quite not so, but I do like to share consciousness and words that I deem worth being said and even repeated. Most of them are not. But thank you for listening to all of this, and the real message is in the silence. If you have access, if you can have access to silence, that's where God lives. Sometimes I don't use the word God because religions have so obscured and almost destroyed that word. And most with great conviction speak of God and have not the slightest clue. Being, nothingness, Buddha's terms, it's all pointing to the same Rome. God quickly closes doors, but silence, that's where it's at. So, love and peace, that's what I hope for you and hope for the world. So, see you in the next clip, and thank you. Thank you for making it to the end. Bye-bye.